Hey everybody, this is Julie. This is welcome to our foundational class, Saturday morning foundational class at Village Yoga. Hope everybody is doing well, staying healthy, and keeping with the mat, keeping with the breath. So this week we are going to focus on, again, working with our core strength and moving into planks, either forearm planks, full planks, side planks, moving into dolphin pose is going to be our objective. So the foundation of moving into a dolphin pose comes from building your strength in your core and in your arms and in your legs. Eventually from dolphin we move into what we call Pincha Mayurasana, which is a forearm balance, and for those of you that already have a forearm balance and you practice, you're always welcome to move into that space. But because this is my Saturday morning foundation class, I just would like to focus more on the foundation of moving towards dolphin. So, everybody, as you are ready, come to your mat. And we're going to start in an active child's pose. So again, start with your hands and knees and open your knees wide. Bring your toes to touch behind you. Shift your hips back, maybe rest your forearms down, bring your forehead down, and then see if you can begin to shift your hips back towards your heels. Maybe extend longer through your arms, bring your forehead down, and just notice how you're feeling. So just taking a moment and pausing to kind of regroup. Take your mind into the mat, into the room, into the body. And take a deep inhale in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. And then just notice any adjustments that maybe you can make. For some people that means opening your knees a little wider. For some it means bringing your knees a little closer together. Again, for some it's resting your elbows down, for others it's extending longer through the arms, lifting your elbows, drawing your shoulders back, and again, gently drawing your forehead down to the mat. So this is a time to adjust to a space where you can feel some sense of ease in the body. And again, let's take another deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. One more in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Now breathing in through the nose only for a count of 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 1. You're in child's pose, breathing in and out through the nose. Again, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue breathing deeply in and out through the nose. And set an intention for your practice. A word, a thought, a prayer, an intention, a need, or a desire, but that which comes from you, from your heart. That comes from deep within inside, that which you need. And perhaps you will send out that intention with trust, knowing that which you send out will come back in time and on time. Or maybe you're sending out an invocation where you need the energy right now. So maybe you can just kind of, in your own silent way, speak a few ohms to yourself, just drawing the energy into you. For whatever the reason, this is your practice. And then once you have settled back to the mat, take a deep inhale and walk your hands to the right side, extending your left palm on top of the right, Maybe your forehead is still down, or it could be lifted between your arms. Just feeling a side stretch here. Take a deep breath in and out. Coming back to center. Take a breath. Maybe lengthening as you go. And then going to the other side, the left side, the right palm on the left, or the left hand all the way off the mat. Just feeling into your body, breathing deeply. And coming back to center once again. Last time, inhale deeply. And exhale. And then gently rising up to your hands and your knees. So tabletop. Now bringing your forearms down to the ground so that your hands, your palms are grounded, just like we would do from our hands and knees, except our elbows are down. And our wrists and elbows are aligned. Your elbows and your shoulders are in alignment, and you are pushing equally through your palms, pushing into the pads, firming into the knuckles, and either gazing back, letting your head go for a moment, draw your chin in, and then gently gaze forward towards your hands. Now drawing your lower belly in, maybe drawing your inner thighs towards one another, pushing down through the tops of the feet, or if the toes are tucked under, through the balls of the feet, pushing down with your palms and your wrists. Let your chest lead forward, let your shoulders draw back. Now lift your sit bones up and maybe spread your hips apart. Inhale, gazing up towards the third eye between the eyebrows, and exhale, round into the back and gaze through the legs up to your navel. And then slowly inhale, cow, forearm cow, exhale, Vidalasana, exhale, cat. And two more, inhale, cow, exhale, cat. One more, inhale, cow, exhale, cat. And come into a neutral space, kind of straightening through your arms so that now you're in tabletop from your hands and your knees. And get very down through your palms, through your knees, your shins, the tops of the feet, but drawing your belly up and back, leading your chest forward. Continue to lead your heart forward through the shoulders, lift up, gaze up. Now let your sit bones lift, spread your thighs apart, and exhale, draw your thighs together, round into your back and gaze to your navel for your cat, and inhale slowly into your cow. And exhale, draw firmly the back body, the front body to the back as you move into a cat. And then one more time, inhale into your cow. And exhale to your cat. And begin to bend through the elbows, maybe shifting forward and back through the hips, moving through your cow and your cat. And rolling your hips in one direction. And then the other direction, just let your head go, your jaw is relaxed. Good, breathing deeply and moving into the twisted puppy. So either your knees can stay as they are, or you might open them up a little further to the inner edges of the mat, with your toes touching behind you, reaching your right arm up, gazing to your thumb, and weave your right arm through the left, the right ear down, the shoulder down, extending your left arm long out in front of you, and maybe taking that left arm up and back behind you as you reach for your inner thigh, breathing deeply. And bringing your left hand down, lifting yourself back up. Inhale the left arm up, open through the chest. Weave that right arm through the right, the left through the right, the left ear down, shoulder down, right arm forward. Square your hips, Drawing your bandhas, extend the right arm up and over, reaching for your inner left thigh. As you roll your gaze and your chest to the long edge of the mat, your gaze to the corners of your eyes, and breathe. And using your right hand to bring yourself back up, and just coming back, drawing your knees underneath your hips. So we're going to bring our forearms down from here and just draw your right leg out and back, just reaching through that right heel, maybe gazing back at your foot. And draw the right knee back to the left and extend the left leg out, reach the heel back, stretching out through your calves and through your feet. And then coming back. And then we're going to come back and extend the right leg out and extend the left leg out. So you want to try and lower your hips down into a forearm plank. So there's a lot of engagement here. Your elbows are drawing to your feet to your elbows, your crown long out in front of you. You're just focusing on your breath for 5 breaths. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And come all the way down to your belly, still on your forearms, coming into Sphinx. So your elbows are drawing back to your hips as your chest is moving through your shoulders, and you're really reaching through the tops of the feet and lifting through your heart center, forward and up. Inhale and exhale. Take a breath here. And gently begin to let your hands come forward as you come all the way down onto your belly and extend long from your fingertips and your toes. So the crown of the head is reaching long. And then taking your hands back behind you, just interlace your palms or reach for your elbows. Work your shoulder blades together. Lengthen through your legs. Reach through your toes. And inhale, lift your chest. Either keeping your feet grounded, or you may want to lift your feet and lift your legs for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, and 3. And lower your head down, release your hands, and taking your left ear down, gazing to the right side. Take a breath here. Bringing your chin back to center, taking your hands forward again, extending long from fingertips to toes, and then coming back on to your forearms so you're back in that Sphinx position. Now taking your left hand towards your right arm, so you just want to keep your elbows pretty much parallel with one another underneath the shoulders, left hand to right wrist. Put a bend into the right knee and then reach back with the right hand as you continue to work the heel either to the outside of the hip or to the buttocks itself. You can also roll your hand forward if you would like. So you do not want to sink down into this. So notice is your chest dropping down. You have to really push away from the ground with your forearm and your hands. Reach through your back leg to keep the extension, the lengthening, and then release that hand and that foot. And then change to the other side. So now the right hand towards the left wrist. That just gives a little more stability. So again, you don't want to drop down like so, like I'm doing right here. You want to lift up out of this position. Bend into the left knee and reach with the left hand, either for the top of the foot, the ankle, or wrapping your hand. You're taking your fingertips forward, wrapping them over the toes. Again, if you start to notice yourself sinking down, try to push away to lift up and working If you start to cramp into that foot, just release it and then come back into it. Or cramp into the leg as well. Just keep reaching and breathing. And then release the hand and the foot. Now extending your arms long out in front of you, so come down all the way onto your stomach. And then bending both knees, reaching back. Either you can do one ankle at a time, or you can take both hands back and reach for your ankles. Work your knees closer together. And on your next inhale, lift up your chest. Again, you can keep the knees down, or you can lift the knees and the thighs and breathe for 3, 2, and one more breath. And slowly lower down. Now bringing your hands to your chest, working your elbows in towards your rib cage and back down toward your heels, reaching long through your legs, grounding down through your legs. Deep inhale, lift up into a cobra. So inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. 1 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Now pushing away from the earth, coming to your hands and your knees. So from your hands and knees, just tuck your toes under and find yourself doing a cow with your toes tucked under and round into the back, chin to chest. 1 more inhale, cow. Exhale, chin to chest. Now taking your left foot off of the mat, pivoting on your left knee, and extending your right leg out to be in alignment with your left knee. You can either keep your right hand down or lift your right arm up and open your chest and gaze to your right thumb. So you're pushing away, lifting up, maybe reaching the hips up and breathing. Now if you want to go further, you're going to lift your top leg up and take a deep inhale. And then exhale, draw the knee into the chest. So you're finding a bit of a rounding action here. And then inhale, extend out, open up, gaze up. And exhale, draw it in. And inhale, open up. And exhale, hug it in. And one more time, inhale, open up. And exhale, draw it in. Now inhale, open up, so everybody lifting the top leg now. Lift it a little higher and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. 3 more, 1 lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, 2 lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, 3 lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the leg, bend the knee, reach for the top of the foot, and open up, taking a little back bend as you gaze up or down, breathing deeply. For 1, and 2, and 3. Release the hand and the foot, coming back to your hands and knees, and gently sitting back onto your heels, reaching your arms nice and long out in front of you as you tuck your chin in. Coming back to your hands and knees, taking your right, so your toes are tucked under, take your right foot off of the right side of the mat, pivot around so your left foot is in line with the right knee. Right hand down, left arm up, gazing down at your right palm, or roll your chin in and gaze up at your left hand. So you can either keep the toes tucked under on this right foot, or if it helps to take the top of the foot down, whatever works for you. So inhale, lifting the top leg up. Take a deep inhale. Now exhale, hug the knee in, rounding into the back. And inhale, extending out. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, open. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, open for 2 more. Draw it in. Extend it out. Hug it in. Extend it out. Now lift it up higher and lower it down. And inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Bend the knee. Reach for the top of the foot. Open through the chest. And breathe for 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Release the hand and the foot and come back to your hands and your knees. Round into your back and then shift your hips back toward your heels, extending your arms out in front of you, and take 3 breaths here for 1, 2, and 3. And then making your way back to your hands and knees, just tucking your toes under, lifting your hips up, and find a downward facing dog. So begin to pedal out through the heels now, bending alternate knees, just walking your dog. Breathe deeply. And lifting the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Flex through that heel, so push through the heel. Push away through the heel. Now point the toe, lift the leg higher, and bend the knee. And keep working the heel either towards the buttocks or opening the knee to the sky, working the heel to the left hip, the left buttocks. Roll your ankle one direction, roll the other. Notice your breath, follow the breath. Extend the right leg out and down beside the left foot. And inhale the left leg out behind you into a 3-legged dog. Reach to the heel, maybe point through the toe. Extend and lift the leg. Bend the knee, keep working the heel towards the buttocks or roll through the hip. Open the knee towards the sky, keep working the heel, back to the buttocks and roll your ankle one direction, the other direction. And extend the left leg out and just lower it beside the right foot. Now walk your hands to your feet. So walk back to your feet. Let your hands do the walking through the mat all the way to your feet. So you're going to now walk your hands about 2 feet from your feet so that your arms are long. So straight arms, shoulders away from your ears and back towards your hips, and just rocking a little of the weight into the heels, but keep the knees soft so that you're not feeling pressure in the knees or any of the joints. And then slowly just trace your hands up your legs. Keep your chin drawn in. And just lift yourself up to standing. Shrug your shoulders once or twice. So we're going to move, you're in the back of your mat, and you're going to take your feet out a little bit wider. And then just taking your arms out and up, reach your arms up, gaze up, lengthen up, bring your hands together, and then down to your heart. So now we're going to come into a squat. So you're going to just drop, let your knees go forward as you sit back, lifting your heels. So you're in a squatted position. So keeping your hands at your heart, you're going to inhale, lift up slightly, and exhale, lower down. And inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. So it's just a little lift of the hips off the heels. Again, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And if you need to use blocks, which can be helpful in this. You can use blocks beside you or books beside you, and inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. This may be easier, better for you, safer for your body. One more time, inhale, lift, and lower. So now we're going to inhale, lift, and we're going to hold it, either hands to the heart or hands on the block. So we're going to take 5 count lifts. So inhale, lift your hips gently, and hold it for breathing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower down. Again, you can see, I know you can feel that. So we're going to then go through and lift and lower 3 times, just gentle lifts. So inhale, you could start by just having your hands to your heart, see how that feels. You can also just take your hands down to the mat, that's another option. But really draw in your belly and inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. And inhale, lift, and hold it for 5, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lower down. Good, so now just straighten your legs, fold out over your legs, and trace your hands up your legs. So moving through, we're going to do some Malasana squats. So we're building strength in the body. It should all feel good once you release out of it. You should not feel pain once you come out of that, which is kind of a bit of a struggle. Once you get to your edge, don't go beyond it. Now taking your toes out, heels in. Inhale, reach your arms out, and either bring your forearms together or cross your right elbow on top of your left, lifting your elbows, drawing your forearms forward. So we're going to go through some Malasana squats. So inhale, lift your elbows, take your forearms forward, and exhale, let the knees go out in the direction of the toes, which is out. So it doesn't matter how far you go. It may be just this far, it may be this far, it may be all the way down. And then inhale, lengthen, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten, lengthen, exhale, lower. Malasana, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower all the way down, bringing your hands down in front of you. So just lifting your heels or keeping your heels lowered, bring your hands to your heart. Take one deep breath here, inhale, and let it all go out through the mouth. And bringing your hands down, again, straightening your legs, folding out and over your legs, and walking your hands back out into a downward facing dog. So from down dog, you're going to lift your heels, bend your knees, and walk your feet to your hands. When you get to the front of the mat, bring your feet together, and we're going to come to a half lift. So you can use blocks here if you would like to, or take your hands up your shins, or keep your hands grounded down by your feet. So wherever you'd like to be, we're going to do it 3 times. So inhale, half lift, shoulders back, chest forward, and exhale, surrender, just fold out over your legs. And inhale, open through the chest. And exhale, surrender. And one more time. Inhale, open your heart. And exhale, surrender. Now toe heel your feet out to be about hip distance apart. And if you want to reach for your bind with the big toe, with the peace fingers and the thumb, do so. If you'd like to reach for your inner elbows, frame your head with your forearms, or bring in your forearms to the crown of the head. And just let go here and soften. Now take your gaze north and south. So we're just working through the cervical spine. This is not a full spinal twist. Just take your chin forward and back. Keep your eyes following the direction of the movement. And whatever forms in front, maybe take it to the back. So if you have your toes, you could take your hands under your feet if you would rather. And then take your chin to your chest and roll to the right shoulder, back to center, to the left, back to center, to the right, back to center. And releasing your hands. Again, if you need a block for your left hand, take your time to put a block under your hand. Bend your left knee and reach your right arm up. Gaze to your right hand and breathe. Take 3 deep breaths here. Now take your right hand down, bend your right knee, reach your left arm up and twist as you gaze up here for 3. And take your left hand down. Draw your chin in to your chest as you slowly trace your hands up your legs, slowly making your way to standing at the front of your mat in Samasthiti equals standing. So either your toes touch, your heels touch, your toes touch, your heels slightly apart, or your feet may be hip distance apart, depending on your body. If you're back injured or pregnant, then step your feet out a little bit wider and give yourself the support that you need. So then draw your legs together as you start to lift the energy up. So your ankles together, knees together, thighs together. And then the Mula Bandha, center of the pelvic floor, is lifting up the root block. Uddiyana Bandha, those are your transverse abs that we talked about last week, coming together to center line. And then lifting rectus abdominis up. Lift your chest up, draw your shoulders up and back. And then gently open through your heart. And just feel your body. Take a deep breath here in through the nose. Out through the nose. And we're going to move slowly through some sun salutation A's. So the first plank that we come to, we're going to hold it for a minute. So that means if you need to drop your knees, you drop your knees. So you don't come to a place of pain and tension. That's not the idea. We want you to move to an edge and know that you have the strength to hold it. But if your body is telling your mind otherwise, then just find a place where you can hold it, yet without so much discomfort. So inhale, reach the arms up and gaze up to your palms. Exhale, fold forward and reach down towards the ground. Inhale, the hands may come to the shin into a half lift, whatever your half lift looks like. Exhale, bend your knees, bringing your palms down, and step back into a high plank position. So we're going to hold this plank. I've got to lower down so I can time you. But you're holding your plank either with your knees down, so you can just drop your knees, or maybe you can lift one knee and then lower, and then lift the other knee and lower. Or you lift both knees and work your palms to your feet as you lead your chest through your shoulders, and you engage your bandhas, and you breathe deeply. So take each breath, focus on your breath, focus on grounding down, lengthening, breathing deeply. Inhale for a count of 3, exhale for a count of 3. Just keep reaching your crown forward, stay steady with your gaze, stay consistent with your breath. You have about 20 more seconds. Just moving slowly, breathing deeply, strengthening as you go. And from plank, just drop your knees down, take the tops of the feet down, and lower your elbows. Take your elbows back as your chest comes forward, hovering over your mat. Now press away and lift up into your upward facing dog, and roll your toes under into downward facing dog. Even from down dog, if you need to drop your knees and just stretch out your back, you can do that. So right here, what I'm doing now is as well an option. And once you've taken a little stretching and a breath, then you come back to your downward facing dog and gaze forward and slowly step your feet to your hands, coming into a half lift. Inhale, exhale, fold in. And inhale, rising up, reaching your arms up, lengthening up, gazing up, and exhale, dive forward, reach for the ground. And inhale, half lift. And exhale, step back into your high plank position, and this time just take 3 breaths here. So 1, 2, 3. And either lower your knees or keep them lifted as you move through a chaturanga. So hover through the mat, and then inhale, lift up into your up dog or cobra. Tuck the toes down, we're facing dog. And take a deep breath here, breathe deeply. And lift the heels, bend the knees, and step your feet to your hands into a half lift. Exhale, fold in. And inhale, rise up. Lengthen up through the side body, lift the obliques. And exhale, dive forward, reach for the ground. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back into your plank. Either hold your plank for 3 breaths, or you can take 3 chaturanga push-ups. So wherever you're at for 3. So 1, 2, 3. Move through your chaturanga, and then press from there to lift into up dog or cobra. Back over your toes to downward facing dog, and find your breath for 1, 2, 3. So from your downward dog, drop your forearms down. So you're in a down dog with your forearms grounded. And let your head be loose. So don't let your head touch the mat. Now slowly step your feet toward your elbows, reaching your heels back and down, and breathe here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Now straighten your arms and shift your hips back and down into a down dog. It's the shorter stance of a down dog. And inhale, look forward. And slowly step your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold in. Now bending your knees and sinking your hips, sit in your chair and bring your arms up and over your head. Now pressing from the ground, come back to standing, Samastitihi. Now bend the knees, sink the hips, sit in your chair, gaze up. Take your hands down your heart center, and then we're going to go into a twist. So you can begin twisting towards the right side as you lower your hips back and down, hooking your left elbow to the outside of the right thigh and gazing to your right corners of your eyes, or lowering your hips a little deeper and twisting a little further for 3, for 1, 2, 3. Bringing your hands to center line. Just fold out and over the legs, straighten the legs, just take a release here. And bend the knees. Sit in your chair, Utkatasana. Gazing up and come back to standing. Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips, gaze up, look up. Draw the elbows down to the heart center. Begin to twist to the left side as you sit deeper into your chair, hooking your right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, gazing either down or taking your gaze up towards your left shoulder for 3, for 1, 2, and 3. Coming back to center, straighten your legs, fold out over your legs. Now bend your knees and sink your hips, sit in your chair, reach your arms up. Take your hands down by heart center and twist and hook the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh and lifting that left heel, either staying here, gaze down at your front foot as you step your left foot back and come into a lunge, twisted lunge with your hands at your heart, or you can open your arms up for 3 breaths for 1, 2, 3, and step your back foot forward, come center line, and hook the left elbow to the outside of the left thigh, either staying here twisting or lifting your right heel and extending your right leg back, scissoring your inner thighs as you twist deeply, and breathe for 3. So 1, 2, 3. Gaze to your front foot, step your back foot forward, come back to center, and just fold out over the legs. Bending the knees, sink the hips, gaze up, look up, sitting in your chair, and coming back to standing. Samastitihi. Good. So if you need to take a break, if you need to get some water, if you just need to take a pause, if you need to go into child's pose, you can do so. So just take 3 breaths here, standing or wherever, however you need to take a little break here for 1, 2, 3. Taking a big step out to the right long edge of your mat, and your feet will be parallel. So let's take about a 3-foot step out to the right. Inhale, reach your arms out, and then pivot on your right heel so that your right toes are perpendicular to the back of your mat, and then just reaching out over that right leg, either reaching your hand down your shin. You can keep your left hand on your left waist, or gaze to your big toe and maybe reach for the big toe, hook the big toe, and then open your chest, roll your chest open to the long edge of the mat, and extend your left arm up in triangle pose, and take 3 breaths here for 1, 2, and 3. And inhale, rise up. Take your feet parallel to one another and go to the other side. So now pointing the left toes to the front of your mat. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, reaching your left hand down the left leg to the big toe, taking your right hand to your waist, rolling the rib cage open to the long edge of the mat, maybe reaching your right arm up and breathing for 3 breaths for 1, 2, and 1 more breath. And gently lifting yourself back up and taking your feet to parallel. Now take a little wider stance. So toe heel your feet out so that there's further distance from your inner feet. And then pivoting on your right toes again, the right toes pointing to the back of the mat, come into your warrior 2 position. So eventually we would like your thigh, your femur bone to be parallel to the long edge of the mat. With time, perhaps it will be. And then inhale, straighten that right leg. And exhale, bend and sink a little deeper. And inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend and sink. One more time, inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend and sink. Now bring the forearm to the knee and extend the left arm up and over and just stretch out through the side body. Maybe gaze into your inner elbow and gaze into your palm. And breathe deeply for 3, for 1, 2, 3. And then lifting back up into your warrior 2 and straighten your right leg. Take your feet parallel to one another. Pivot on your left heel. Sink deeply into your warrior 2 for 3 breaths, for 1, 2, 3. Now inhale, straighten your left leg. And exhale, go a little deeper. And inhale, straighten. And exhale, a little deeper. And again, inhale, straighten. And exhale, drop it down. Taking your forearm to the knee, reaching your right arm up and over your ear. Rolling your chin and your gaze to your inner right elbow and towards your palm for 3 breaths, for 1, 2, and 3. And rising back up into your warrior 2 position. Now windmill your hands to either side of your front foot, your left foot, and lift your left foot up and back into a 3-legged dog and drop your left foot beside your right, coming into a high plank. Drop your knees, work your hands back to your knees, tuck your toes under, and inhale, reach your arms up, putting a bend into the left elbow, taking your right arm out, thumb down, reach around, and binding, opening through the chest, and working through the shoulders for 3 breaths, for 1, 2, and 3. And gently releasing, taking both arms up, gazing up, putting a bend into the right elbow, right hand to the right shoulder or down the center of the back. And maybe extend the left arm out and down, reach around and binding. And breathing for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Gently releasing your hands and coming to hands and knees. And then drawing your forearms back down with your toes maybe still tucked under or tucking your toes under. Draw your lower belly in, and we're going to move into a dolphin pose. So if you would like, you can also, ideally eventually you're going to have your palms down as if you were in the down dog, but with your elbows down. Maybe your elbows are in slightly, right in line with your wrist. You can also clasp your hands if this helps support you, as if you're going into a headstand, but your head will not be grounded here. So either your palms down or your fist, your hands making a fist. Keeping your toes tucked under, you can start by looking back at your feet and just lift your hips up into a forearm, kind of a forearm downward facing dog. And then gaze, if you can, when you can, gaze forward towards your hands and start to walk your feet closer to your elbows, even if it's just a slight movement forward. And lift your right leg up, and here we're doing a one-legged dolphin. Lift your leg up and breathe for 3 breaths, for 1, 2, 3. And slowly lower your right foot down. Drop your knees down, open your knees wide, And take a breath in child's pose for 3 breaths for 1, 2, 3, and then lifting back up, tucking your toes under, lifting your hips up, forearms down. You can start by gazing through your legs, maybe step your feet a little closer and lift your left leg up. So keep grounding through the standing leg. The knee can be soft, lifting the left leg up, gazing forward for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, 3. Lower the left foot down, open the knees, sit back on the heels, extend your arms long out in front of you. Take a full breath here. And working your hands back to you so that you're lifting your torso. So Pincha Mayurasana is a forearm balance. That is when we come into that same position of dolphin, but you would take your feet, both feet up. I do this when I'm at a wall, so I have a wall to kind of practice with. Unless you have somebody that's there spotting you, it's always a good idea, unless you've been practicing Pincha Mayurasana for a long time. And you can also start getting to where you get both feet up to the wall, bouncing on your forearms and gazing towards the wall with your gaze. And just practice kind of lifting up, so bouncing one leg up and taking it down, bouncing the other leg up. So it would be something, the idea of where your forearms down, lifting your hips, and then just kind of practicing lifting. And then you could go to the other side. And eventually, both legs would come up. You'd gaze forward towards the wall, and your feet could start by coming to the wall, and then gradually you take your feet away from the wall. But right now, let's go back into a child's pose. 1 more breath. And use your hands to lift yourself up. So, hands and knees, cross at the ankles, sit back on the seat, extend your legs long out in front of you. You guys have done excellent today. This is a lot of work for a foundational class. Inhale, reaching your arms up, lengthening, and exhale, fold forward, reaching out and over your feet, or maybe just down your legs. Draw your chin in, let your crown reach long, and breathe. Gently lifting yourself up. Now we're going to bend the knees, and you can either use your hands to help support drawing the knees to the chest and the chest to the knees, sort of balancing on your sit bones, maybe flexing through the feet, or you can lift your legs up and continue to use your hands for support, or going into boat. You can go with straight legs or bent knees and reach your arms forward wherever you are. There's 5 breaths here. So 1, 2, inhale 3, exhale 3, 3, 4, 5. Now lower your heels down and slowly bring your hands to your shoulders and feel each vertebrae as it makes its way down like it's a string of pearls onto your mat. Extend your arms up and over your head, just reaching long from fingertips to toes. And then gently bending your knees. And crossing your right ankle over your left knee over your left thigh, and then drawing your left knee in towards you. And just start to massage your spine, letting your right knee open up. Maybe lift up to it, just roll side to side. Another option is to lengthen this left leg. Again, just massaging the spine. Then lower your head down and bend the left knee, drop the foot down, uncross and go to the other side. Weaving your hands through your legs. You can stay here with your head grounded, both feet flexed. You can lift up to it, moving side to side on your spine. You can also lift your right leg up and lift up a little further. Gently lower your head, release your right foot down, uncross your left leg, and extend long from your fingertips to your toes. Inhale. Now exhale, hug the right knee into the right shoulder. And cross the right knee to the left. Maybe keeping your shoulder blades grounded. You can also take your right arm up and over your head if you like a different type of stretch, and work your knee all the way over to the left side and just breathe. And coming back, plugging the right knee back in. Extend the leg up to the sky and just let the right leg just open out to the right. Gaze to the left. Take 2 breaths here for 1 and 2. And bring the right leg back up and slowly lowering it down to the ground. And inhale, you can take your arms up and over your head, stretch out, and hug that left knee into the left shoulder. Stay there or cross it over to the right. Either the left arm can be out from the shoulder or up and over, stretching. The knee can come all the way over, not worrying that your hips are lifting, just stretching and breathing. Coming back to center. Lengthening and straightening through this left leg. If you can reach for the toes or the shin, the calf or the thigh, and let the leg open out to the left. Gaze to the right for 2 breaths. And gently draw the left leg to the sky. Now take the right leg to the sky and take your hands underneath your hips in Viparita Karani. So just keeping your legs lifted up for 5 breaths. You can come into shoulder stand if you would like. Otherwise, stay right here with me or go further for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you've gone into shoulder stance, slowly make your way back down into L shape. Maybe taking your hands under your hips, pointing your toes, and then lengthening through your toes. Drawing a line with your toes down the ceiling, down the wall. As you bump up onto your forearms again. And then lift up through your chest. So then you're grounding down through the earth to lift your chest, your heart up. Take your chin back, gazing to the tip of the nose. And take 2 breaths here. Slowly draw your chin up and forward as you lower down onto your back, and just hug your knees in. Roll side to side. Come into a happy baby, reaching for your big toes, the inner or outer edges of your feet, and just either lifting your feet up to the sky or keeping your feet facing forward. And just roll side to side on your spine, breathing deeply. So now releasing your hands from your feet and opening your legs wide, just reach, push through the heels, and then cross your legs. So really hug your thighs together. Engage your abs, open your legs out wide. Cross and hug your thighs together. Do this for 3 more times as you make your way down onto your mat, knowing that the next asana is Shavasana. And lower down. So set yourself up on your mat so that you're in a place of comfort. Whether you're using a bolster to your knees or on your back, or using a blanket to cover yourself up. So take a moment to adjust your shoulder blades together and just let your feet drop open, your palms receiving energy so they're lifted up, they're facing up. Or maybe one on the belly, one on the heart, belly, heart. And take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, releasing. And one more like that. And no longer controlling your breath, just allow your breath to move freely. So just release the control. Let go. Eyes are heavy, jaw is relaxed, your tongue is released. Your shoulders are dropping down, your hips, thighs open. Aware of the thoughts that are coming in, but not attaching to them, just allowing them to move on. Shavasana is a place of stillness. So after all that hard work, all the asana movement with the breath, now's the time to surrender. Stay in Shavasana for another 5 minutes or so. And when you're ready to come out of it slowly. Maybe make your way back to your seat. Maybe meditate, a seated meditation for 5 more minutes. And then practicing your Oms, 3 Oms. Thank you for allowing me to be present through this video and to be part of your practice. Namaste.